Before today's episode starts, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with today's read, which comes from BetterHelp. As you all know, BetterHelp is the sponsor of the Who and How Club, and we are truly grateful to have them as a sponsor and supporter of the show. It just makes sense based on the conversations that we have, the types of individuals that we invite onto the show, but it also makes sense for me personally because I myself have gone through my journey of therapy or journey to therapy, which I've shared on many episodes on this platform before. And I do plan on continuing my journey to therapy very soon, and I'm excited to share these pieces with you all. Therapy has helped me, reflect on the things that I've gone through in my life, the role that I've played in those same situations, but also it has helped me to think about where I want to go moving forward in my life. So when I suggest therapy as a tool that you all can use to help guide you and navigate through any challenges that you're facing, I'm truly speaking from experience. So if you want to start your journey to therapy today, what you would do is go to BetterHelp's website. You can actually click the link in our description today and use the link betterhelp.com/whohow. And once you go to that website and that link, you'll be redirected where you can answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You could do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's really the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. And I like to say speaking with, as you all know, I'm big on language, and you don't just want to talk to your therapist, but you want to speak with a therapist, and, they'll be able to speak with you as well and help you navigate through those struggles that you've been going through in your life, whether there are challenges in your relationships, whether that has to do with family or significant other, or even just your relationship with yourself. You go to betterhelp.com/whohow. You'll be matched with a therapist, usually within 48 hours, and you'll be able to get started pretty fast. So let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Once again, visit betterhelp.com/whohow, and you'll get a special discount on your journey to therapy today. Now, let's get to today's episode. It's a real special one, and I'm excited for you all to hear it.
You're now tuning into the Who and How Club with your host, Arys Déjan.
We are 70, but we have also students that are like 20 students.
Yeah.
So that comes like 290, I'll say.
Yeah. 290?
Like
90.
90.
Okay,
290. What?
You got more students than staff?
No.
Okay, so while we're talking, usually we don't do the background noise, but when I edit, I could kind of take it out, but I like the rain noise. What do you think? You can hear it, right? You hear that noise?
No. I'm trying, but I don't hear it.
Listen. There's like noise, background noise. Can you hear it outside?
Like, even when sometimes in the podcast you said like, oh, Apollo is making noise. I'm like, I don't hear anything. I'm like, okay.
All right. Okay. Can you hear yourself? Are you good with the sound and everything?
Yeah, I'm good with the sound.
Okay. All right, so we're just going to go. Usually I have a drum roll too, but I have it on there, so. Ready?
No.
That's our guide, okay?
Okay.
Let me get my glasses so I can read it. It's so dark.
35-year-old Arys needs glasses.
What'd you say?
Are you recording this?
It's recording. Yeah.
Or you will hear it afterwards.
On my headphones. Oh.
35-year-old Arys needs glasses.
Good eyes,
I have good eyes. I don't use glasses. Can be a pilot. Did you know that?
Ooh. You can?
Of course.
Why? Because of your eyes?
Perfect eyes.
You could be a stripper because of your titties.
Shut up. Do we need water?
No, we're good. You need water?
I think so.
Where's your tea? Bro, you're annoying. Washroom, water. You don't need water. We're going to bang this out. What time is it?
12:40.
Okay, what's our call time?
1:30.
No.
Too long?
Yeah.
1:20.
1 o'clock.
That's 20 minutes?
Yeah.
You just want 20 minutes?
All right, 30 minutes.
Do you think we can just speak 20 minutes? Do you know us?
1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Who and How Club. It is your boy Arys Déjan checking in. You know the slogan. You are the Who and How Club. I am the Who and How Club, and we are the Who's and How's of this world. So while we're here together on this planet, this rock, let's live. Let's live a little. Let's live together. Let's build bridges with one another. Let's avoid the divide and stop trying to, live separately and separate ourselves from one another. We're all connected in some way, shape, or form. And let's embrace that fact. Let's see ourselves in one another and sit and just speak, pick each other's brains, and ask each other the ultimate question, which is what this platform is based off of. Who are you? Who are you, and how did you become the who that you are? This week is a special week because it was my birthday. The last time I checked in with all of you, I mentioned that it was my mother's birthday, and we shed some, we gave her flowers a little bit by bringing her intro back onto the show. And as you heard today, her intro is still there. I think I'm going to keep it going for a little while. And just because we need a nice little intro, I know I just put the sound effects and we just jump right into things, but I think hearing mom's voice at the beginning of the show sets a nice tone. But with that said, this week is big as well because it was my birthday that passed on the 26th of April. So we're recording this on the weekend, but you'll hear it in the upcoming week. And it's been a wild week. With that wild week, I thought that it would be a great thing to invite our first official 2024 guest to the show, because this individual also kind of shares a birthday week with me, and I didn't want to just talk about my birthday throughout the episode. From the last episode, you all, who am I? I'm sharing a lot of pieces about who I am, and I'm diving deeper. But I want to bring other people onto the show that not only know who I am more, but can speak about themselves, and we could dive deeper into who they are as people, because that's what we do here at the show. So without further intro, I want to welcome Dana, a fellow Taurus, fellow April baby. Dana Gomez, welcome to the table. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Let's get some hand claps for Dana, y'all. So I'm not sharing this episode this week by myself. I got a guest, and it feels good to not just talk to myself, even though I'm always talking to all of you club members and listeners and supporters. But because it's still April, we're recording this on April 28th, and it's that Taurus season, and you all know how much that's important to me. I thought I'd invite a fellow Taurus to the club. So welcome to the club once again, Dana.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well, that you're having an amazing April. It's a beautiful month. It's raining outside, which is really beautiful.
Yes, shout out to our fellow Taurians out there. May Tauruses, we love you too, but today we're focusing on our April babies, but we love our May Tauruses as well. Now, Dana, you don't have to sound all cute and sexy, Just be yourself, be comfortable, you're good. Your voice is good, the levels are good. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, it's a beautiful morning. It's raining outside, so it looks pretty beautiful. We went for a walk, so that's also a nice way to start the morning.
April showers.
April showers, yes.
We love the rain. I know a lot of people have their gripes with rainy weather. Sometimes it makes them feel low energy and down, maybe sometimes depressed. But for us, when we look outside and see the rain, we feel like it's like a cleanse, It's a great way it's like the earth is being cleaned in a way. And I like to walk out and, take the dog out and just embrace, You might hear some raindrops in the background, folks, but we wanted to set the tone and set the ambiance for today's episode, right?
Yes.
You like the rain?
I like the rain, yes. I like driving in the rain.
Yes.
Also staying inside the house when it's raining.
And napping when it's raining.
But that's beautiful. Yes.
Beautiful, yeah. Yeah, today is beautiful. I like the gloominess of it. I like how it looks like a world of art when you look up in the sky and it's raining, you know, like the clouds and stuff, like paintings.
It's like another side of the nature, you know?
Yes.
Not everything is always green and sunny. You also get another side that you also have to learn how to like it, embrace it, and just flow with it as well.
Yes, I agree. And speaking of flow, we're flowing. We're flowing and we're floating. This week was our birthdays. Taurus gang.
Yes.
And your birthday is April 20.
April 24.
And mine is April 26th. So this week we kind of, you know, being connected and being friends and stuff like that, we wanted to celebrate together, and we thought doing this episode to talk about what it's like to be at the stage of life that we both are, because we both come from two different, there's a bit of a gap in between us when it comes to age, but we want to focus on stage today and talk about what it's like to be at these stages that we're both at in our lives today, right?
Yes.
Do I got that right, or is there something else you want to touch on today?
No, I think that's the right topic that we will be touching base.
And what's our goal with that topic for the listeners and the club members?
I would say just listen to people in different stages of life, but they also share similar things, because even though sometimes you find people that are maybe age apart, they also share things, which is okay. Not everyone at the same age are sharing the same things or want the same things, you know? Everyone is different, so at the same time everyone wants something different.
Mm-hmm. And they're experiencing different things, and sometimes they're experiencing similar things, but we can learn from one another regardless of the stage that we're at, you know, the different stages. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, club members alike, listeners, supporters, we usually dive deep into people's backstories and stuff like that. Today, for Dana being here, we're going to just focus on our birthdays because it's still April and we're going to stay in this energy. But one day she's going to come back on the show and we're going to dive deep into who she is on a deeper level, where she comes from. I know you can all hear that accent and you're probably wondering where she's from, but we'll save that for another episode. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And plus,
they can start thinking, where is the accent from?
Exactly. So let's focus on Taurus energy and birthdays and different stages of life. So we have a question of the day. Our question of the day today is, and I'll pose it to you, of course, how does it feel to be at the stage/age that you're at today? Like, how does that feel? What does 22? Oh, we're not saying ages today. Okay, forget ages. Let me re-record that. I'm gonna bleep that out, in fact. Okay, but we have a question of the day, and the question is, how does it feel to be at the stage/age that you're at today? Without naming the number, let's keep that ambiguous so that folks could just guess. But for you, the feeling, how does it feel for you to be at the stage of life that you're at today, with your birthday being this week and stuff?
I think it's okay. So the day of my birthday, I remember I had conversations with some of my friends, and as I said, I think everyone is in a different stage, and because of the person who I am and the things that I have been through, or who I became, who I am, I'm in a different stage that maybe people are at my age. So I think I'm just trying to learn, and it's just things are just beginning. I'm trying to build myself. I'm trying to learn who I am. I think it has been kind of interesting path, I'll say. You know, sometimes you are like, oh, I'm this kind of person, and then you discover, like, you know what, like, no, I had some experiences that teach me that's not maybe who I am. That's not maybe where I want to be. So I think I'm trying to figure out my goals. And I think when you're, I'll say, young. I'm not mentioning my age, but I'll say young.
Yeah.
You tend to compare a lot yourself with other people. So I'm just trying to know that I have my own path and I'm doing things my way. And maybe it's not the way that everyone will do it, but it's the way that is working for me. And it's the way that is helping me to like know what I just want in my life. Like to work towards a goal that maybe in 5 years I'll see, or in 10 years I'll see. I don't know. I'm just trying to work towards that. So I think it's just a stage of learning, of building new experiences, of meeting new people as well, learning from new people, listening stories from other people. I love talking and listening as well. I think it's a good way to, when you actually listen, you can learn how to maybe do things different for your own life. You're like, okay, this person did this. Maybe I can try to do that in my own way, but I can learn from that, right?
Speaking of listening, and as you're speaking, I'm listening. And yes, of course, what I'm hearing is like, you know, the piece, something that's sticking out to me is like trying things and you're figuring out if they work or not, and if they define you, you know, if that's who you are. Like if we think about mistakes, for an example, how will we know how to not make a mistake if we don't make a mistake? If we don't try something new and figure out that, you know, that's not something that's for me. That's not something that I want to be partaking in or be or present myself as. And then, you know, I want to grow from that and change from that. Like, how do we know unless we go through those moments or those difficult times or those challenges? You know, even behaviors. Like sometimes, you know, when you look back at your life, maybe you'll be like, you know what, I was really stubborn at a young age. But then you grew out of that and you realize, you know what, that's not how I want to be anymore. Being stubborn in a negative space or towards people didn't help me improve or help me grow, you know? It was hindering me. It was like putting blockages up with my stubbornness. So do you think that way, that like, you know, going through things, you kind of have to go through things to figure out, suss out the bad stuff or suss out the ways that you don't want to be like, so that you could become the version that you want to be?
I believe they're not like, I'll say kind of mistakes. I will maybe call it more like experiences, you know? You're experiencing things and then you either see if they work or they don't work out for you.
Yeah.
And then you learn from them, right?
Yeah.
Like you can be going through something and you made a decision.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the right one, but you will learn something from it. You will learn maybe to act different, to do things different. You know, maybe when you go through that again, you know already, okay, you know what, when this happened before,
Yes.
I did this and it didn't work.
Yes.
So you know what didn't work. You
Yeah.
can try something different. And
You're
that's
learning
the
from
beauty of
mistakes.
life, right? Every
Yeah.
day you can wake up and do things different.
Yes.
Every day you can just say, you know what, yesterday was a bad day.
Yes.
But today,
Yes.
it's going to be a beautiful day. You have to manifest that and just bring that good energy, even though, you know, mistakes happen, of course. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to just be like, okay, it's a mistake? Yes, but what can you do about it? Can you get better? Of course you can get better.
Learn from it so that you don't repeat it.
Yes.
And then also, yeah, I mean, I could think of things and moments where it's like, you know, this is not me. This is not who I want to be, you know, but I experienced this thing. I see what it's like. Okay, I saw the other side. And, you know, I'm more comfortable on the other side. I'm more comfortable being this way as opposed to that way. Or, you know, this isn't something I want to experience or be experiencing in my life. But I find that some people are not aware enough to make those changes. Like they'll be in something and don't know how to change it, how to make a decision for themselves that like, okay, this is not the space I want to be in. How do you, let's say, how would you make those types of decisions for yourself? Being the stage that you're at now, being at the stage, how have you made those decisions? How have you learned from your mistakes, would you say? If you made any, let's say. And you said not mistakes, right? But those experiences, like what made you wake up and helped you make those decisions? Like, you know what? That's not the space I want to be in. That's not how I really am, who I am. I'm going to grow from that. Was it like a decision that you naturally made, or you were like forced to make that decision?
I think in life you experience both, right? I think some situations put you into...
That's the dog drinking water, ladies and gentlemen. Don't mind us. Ugh. Please stop. How come when we record you do this? You're lying down the whole time. We're talking to a baby boy Apollo. Go ahead.
Okay. So
Is my question making sense? Sorry, I know I like threw a lot at you, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just to sum it, what I'm trying to simplify is how, and for listeners, right? I want them to learn and these are for the people who struggle with this, who find challenges in trying to change themselves. You know, some people, they lack awareness. They don't realize that they're in something that doesn't really define them in a healthy way. They don't know that. They don't realize that, you know what, that's not really who they are. This is not where I want to be. Maybe they keep friends in their circles that they're like so toxic for them, but because they've known them for so long, they'll keep them around and just keep them around because they think that's what they have to do, not knowing that, you know what, you can actually go find a new set of friends. You can find, if you make room for new, you can give yourself some space to experience new friends and new friendships and new people and whatever. So like, how do people work towards making those decisions?
So I think life put you through different situations, right? Like sometimes you're forced to make a decision and you're like maybe scared, you don't know what to do. Yeah. But at the end you have to make a decision. And that's it. You have to make a decision, and if it doesn't work out, it's okay. You know, when you talk with people, you think you're the only one that is going through something. And then everyone is going through something. Everyone has something going on in their lives. You are not alone, you know? So I believe sometimes you just choose something, you know? Sit down with yourself, be like, okay, what is the best thing I can do for myself? Because I think at the end of the day, some people, they will not really think about you. They will think for themselves. And I think sometimes you also have to stick for yourself. You have to be, okay, am I feeling in the right way? Why, if I'm not feeling right, why do I have to settle for that? If you don't care about your happiness, is really somebody else gonna care about it? You have to make what makes you happy. And if it's not working out, then you try to change it. You see another perspective. You maybe ask for an advice. I think talking with people,
yes,
maybe they went through that. As I said, sometimes you talk with people and they're going through the same thing, or they went through that already, or that experience that you have will help them at some point in their lives. So I think also but like, you know, you have to also learn to who do you ask advice from, you know, because some people will also, you have to think that not everyone is going, like the facts are not the same, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they went through the same thing, but the facts are not the same. So you have to also focus on that and just work with that and understand that life is like that. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and it's okay if it doesn't work.
Yeah. A lot of people are not okay with things not working out for them. I remember I used to be like that. You know, I would be stressed and like I would overthink, quote unquote, about like things working out the way I wanted them to, and getting upset when they didn't, you know. And I think that's hard for people to deal with at times. I think for us as just by nature, we want to control everything in our lives, not realizing that we're not really in control anyway. But once you figure that out, it's like an epiphany. Like you feel like control is like you relinquish control and you become free. You free yourself from like those things that you thought you could control, but you cannot. And you feel liberated in a way. But a lot of people are just so stuck in that mode that they're trying to really control things and shift things around the way they want to. And then when something drastic happens, they don't know how to react to it or deal with it. Or I've been having a lot of conversations lately where like people aren't really thinking about themselves in the way that you're saying, you know, they don't take the time to. They're so busy giving like on the external, you know, they give themselves to their friends, their circles, their people, their parents, keeping themselves busy unnecessarily because they think that's what they have to do. But just center yourself. If you take some time to just spend with yourself, you could learn a lot about yourself and reflect on the things you want and don't want and how you want to shift things over, you know? What are your thoughts on that?
A lot of people give and they don't receive anything in return. And I think that's also when you have to ask yourself, am I in the right relationship? I just don't mean like romantically. I mean also like with your friends, with family. Even with family, sometimes you just give and you don't receive anything back. So you have to ask yourself, like, is this person reciprocating my energy? Are they also being like grateful of what I'm doing, of the time I'm like spending with them, or the words? Because even talking with someone, you are giving them your time. Are they actually being grateful about it? Are they actually listening? Are they actually also giving you something? Are you learning something from that conversation? Sometimes you talk with people, but is that really conversation? Like that, is that conversation actually adding something in your life? Is that gonna make a change in your life? You know. So I think it's mostly that.
What's the next topic that we got for today?
Okay.
You don't have to read it verbatim, but what's our next focus? Good talk, huh?
Yeah.
Did you answer the question? How
I
do you
think
feel?
so.
Yeah. We're just talking, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you to Dana for being here. Thank you for you all supporting us as we roll through this Who and How Club venture. Dana's going to let us know what the next question is for today, or the next piece of topic for the discussion. What do we got?
Okay. You know my age, so which advice would you give to a person that is, let's say, starting their adult life? Let's call it like that.
What advice would I give them? I would say, let me think about this. I know that when we're really young, when we're young and getting into the early 20s stage and adulthood and all that stuff, mid 20s even sometimes, even as a teenager, like we care a lot about what people say about us and think about us. We allow what they say and think to define us. And I think one skill that I obtained really early was not caring about those things. I was able to navigate through those sort of challenges. Of course, I had many challenges, but one thing I could always overcome is not give a crap about what people thought or said about me. And that's what, it might have created some enemies over the years, or people hating on me because they're like, oh, this guy's too confident or cocky or whatever. Nothing we say penetrates his heart or soul, But I learned from an early age that like people will always have their opinions of you, and you can't do anything to change or shape them. So when you realize that you're not alive for them, you're alive for yourself, you're alive for your loved ones. And even saying that towards your loved ones is hard, because like you do care about what your mother says or thinks about you. You do care about what your loved ones do, but even that you can't, because it's a scary territory when we are allowing another human being on this planet to shape how we feel about ourselves and think about ourselves. Not to say you can't use those things as great devices, maybe if you're in a romantic relationship with someone, they're experiencing you, you're experiencing them, and you can learn from one another. Maybe they'll expose something about you that you weren't aware of, and then that's something you could reflect on and change and stuff. But I'm not talking about those types of things. I'm talking about the world. The world, they're going to have their opinions of you. They're going to think the way they think of you. They're going to see you from their perspective. That doesn't mean that's how you need to see yourself or feel about yourself. So not caring about what people think or feel about you, to an extent, of course, let's say 80% to 90%, I think that's the advice I would give to young folks, or, anybody really. But I think as you mature through life, majority of us, we stop even caring about those things. I think it's like more of a younger person, teenager stage. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, because there could be someone at my stage of life who still thinks and cares about those things and worries about what the world thinks of them. Like, let's say social media, they'll compare themselves. They're like, yo, I see this, let's say 31-year-old and they're this and they're that, and I'm 31 and I'm not there. You know, so we start comparing and we start thinking about how the world might look at us at 31 based on what we're seeing another 31 being looked at as. You get what I mean?
Yes, I understand. I just think that nobody can like actually see all your journey. You know, they will see maybe, I'll say 50% of it. But even less, yes. Yeah. So I don't think anyone can have a truly opinion about it if they don't
live it. They're not living it.
Exactly, they're not living it. Yeah. They don't know, like maybe for the 31% you're seeing that they are where they are, we didn't see how long it took him to actually be there, you know?
Yes.
What it took him to be there. Yes. Like, what was the process?
Which is an accomplishment in itself. Yeah.
Everyone has a different process. Sometimes it can take days, weeks, years, but it will take what it needs to take.
Yes.
So I think about talking about journey. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a different journey. Mm-hmm. Everyone goes through different things. Sometimes some people go through a lot of things at the same time. You know, 2 or 3 things at the same time, and maybe they learn those things really easy, but maybe some other things will take even more time. You know, maybe things that you learn at an earlier stage, I will not learn them at the same stage, you know, but maybe things that you're just learning, I went through that already. So I think it's just thinking about that part.
Yeah. I like what you're saying about the journey piece. Like, we're all on our journey. I think we as people, we get caught up. It doesn't matter which stage of life you're at. We get caught up with the comparison. And I think it's hard for people to not compare, especially nowadays, because you're being exposed to what you have such easy access to what people are doing across the globe, you know? So you have things to compare to, where like before, you didn't have that. You didn't see what people were doing in Tallahassee, Florida, you know, or like a place in Cuba or wherever. Like, you could just look online and see what's going on in this country right now. Who are the most famous people in that country? And, you know, you just have such easy access to compare yourself to. And it's like, we have to try to stay focused on ourselves and on our inner journey, because your journey should be blessed in itself. Like, understanding that what you're going through, what you've experienced, is your own. And it's like a snowflake, you know, like they say no snowflake is identical. Same with journeys, you know, you can not compare, but you can relate.
Yes.
You know, that's what we do on the show. Like, we come and sit and we speak because we want to try to learn from one another based on our experiences, our individual experiences, but it's still your journey. Your journey is yours, mine is mine, but we can learn from it. Not try to duplicate it. Yes. Not try to compare, but learn.
Yes, for sure. I think going back to the part that you said, everyone has easy access. I also think people share just like
too much.
Not too much. I'll say just what they wanna share. Do you think they're gonna be like sharing their problems? They will not.
Facts.
You will see what they want you to see.
Factory. That's
okay.
Factory.
So, for example, if you go through someone's, I'll say Instagram maybe, and you're like, oh my God, they have a house now. They have, I don't know, they got married or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only part you're seeing. You're not seeing anything else.
They're probably committing fraud. They're going to jail in a few weeks.
Yeah, like maybe
never know. Just as a joke.
They're like their life itself. They're going through something.
Yes.
Maybe something else is happening.
Yes.
You will have no idea.
Yes.
So you cannot compare yourself, but because maybe you're in a better place with yourself, but maybe you don't have all these other things, but you are in a better place with yourself. That's awesome. That's great. You know how many people struggle being with them, like being good?
That's great. Great food for thought. And we never know exactly what's going on in someone's life. You know, they always say like, just be nice. Be nice. You know, even if you come across a person who is, let's say, miserable today, you know, you went to the coffee shop and they're serving you, you know, and you're like, hey, how's it going? How are you doing today? And they say, good. they don't ask you in return, or they have this face like they don't want it, you're bothering them at their job. You know, understand that that person has a life too, and maybe they're having a bad day. You don't know what's going on in their lives. So we have to have grace with one another, but try not to compare and try not to use someone else's story. I think inspiration is important.
For sure.
Learning from one another. You should be inspired by that. Like, oh, you did this, you obtained this or accomplished this. You know what? I'm inspired to do something like to accomplish for myself as well. I'm going to not give up no matter how hard times get, you know, but I don't want what you have. I don't think that just because you're there that I need to be there too, or you got there before me, so I need to catch up. I just want to see you and be inspired by you, and I wish you well. And I hope you wish me well too. We should never compare journeys, right?
Yeah. Also, everyone has different goals.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe our journey will never be the same.
Never.
It will be itself just a different journey, different situations, different mistakes, let's say.
Yeah.
Different people that come to you, and you also address different people itself.
Yeah. This is good conversation. How are you feeling?
Feeling great.
Yeah?
Yes.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, she was a bit shy earlier. And I don't know why we're too shy to share our ages. You can share your age. Are you too shy?
No, it's okay. I can share it.
All right. So this week, Dana and I had our birthdays, if you're just tuning in. This isn't a radio show. Let's just say you fast forwarded the episode to this point and you're just checking in. So Dana and I had our birthdays this week. I'm April 26th and...
I'm April 24.
And this week she turned
22 years old.
And I turned 35. So initially we were going to call this episode 22/35. But, you know, the numbers are not really like, they don't look good together in a sense where it's like they're not like even number. Like obviously 22 is. But we wanted to make sense of the episode. So we're calling today's episode A Bull's Birthday, because we also want to shed light on our fellow Taurians. But we were a bit shy to share our ages, I guess. So, but we don't care, right? It's not about the age. It's about the stage, as we always share and say on this. So our first question was, you know, how does it feel to be at that stage/age for Dana? I think for me, you know, I feel free. I feel at peace. I feel like it's, again, life is just beginning. You know, I thought I knew so much. And then when you get to the stage, it's a blessing. You know, you're like, oh, you got so much more to learn and experience. So I feel really at peace. I'm grateful for who I have in my life. And I'm grateful for, you know, love and life and being able to create and just move at my own pace and trust the process. And I think once I figured out the thing that we're talking about, which is like, you're so funny. The relinquishing control, you know, letting go of things and understanding that things can't, you know, we just can't, it's easier said than done, of course, but imagine stressing about something you can't control.
Yeah. Things are always going to go the way they're supposed to go, and that's it. You know, maybe it's meant to be to made that mistake right now. Maybe that was meant to be, because in the future you will be in the same situation, and in that moment you know better. That moment you know what not to do.
And then you could teach someone else.
Yes.
Set a tone for someone else so that they also don't make the same mistake. I believe like we're part of this ecosystem, right? Like
yes.
We learn to teach.
Yes.
We learn to teach. And not only teach ourselves, but also teach others. We teach ourselves in the future. You know, when like you're saying, if the mistake comes up again, you know not to make it again. So we reteach ourselves.
Yes.
And we're teaching the world. You know?
I think you will call a mistake if you do it the exact same way again. Like I think in that moment you'll say like, okay, like what is going on? Why I did that again? You know?
Yeah. Very true. What do we got next on the line?
Okay. Where were you at 22?
Me?
Yes.
Where was I? Where? I was living in my own apartment at 22, 1-bedroom apartment. I was in a relationship with my second or third real relationship, long-term relationship, I would say. I don't know. I was working in the customer service field and also the food and beverage field. I was a server. So I was a server and in customer service, both working 2 jobs, yeah. And I was still trying to figure out how I wanted to bring my creative dreams to life. I was doing little performances here and there and recording music, but nothing major at the time. But yeah, I was in that type of headspace. Still stubborn.
Okay.
Really stubborn, yeah.
I have a question for you about that.
Yeah.
Do you think you still have something from Arys at 22 years old?
Good question. I think the level of awareness.
Okay.
The level of awareness. My mom taught me how to be present and be aware of my surroundings and of myself. I'm not saying it was at a matured level. My awareness at 22 is not the same at 35, of course. But I think at that time it was a bit more advanced than my peers who were also older than me. But I was still immature in some aspects. You know, I loved love. I believed in love so much. And I thought my life would revolve around being with one person and building with one person and falling in love at an early stage. I'm like a one-woman man. You know, I don't need 100 girls. I just want to settle down. So I would say I still have that awareness, I guess. Being aware is very important. And I like to be around people who are also aware, who pay attention, who observe. But not only like external of themselves, but themselves too. And to be critical of oneself, you know, like you got to judge yourself. Don't judge other people if you can't judge you. Don't be hard on yourself, but like assess yourself. Be like, you know what? I need to change this. This is not a good piece about me. You know?
Yes.
Is what I'm saying making sense?
It does. It does.
Where do you think you're going to be at 35? Like, where do you see yourself? You know, a lot of people feel like they won't make it to a certain stage of life. You know, that's why I say being 35 is a blessing. A lot of folks didn't wake up this morning. They didn't get that chance. So to be 35 is a blessing for me. And of course, being 22 is. But let's say in the future, in your future, where do you see yourself? Where? At 35. At my stage.
As I said, I think I'm learning right now a lot about myself and a lot of like what I want. I didn't finish high school that long ago, you know, and I remember when I finished, I was like thinking when I was 22, I think like stereotypes. It's another thing, you know, you're like, I'll finish high school, I'll do this, I'll do that, because society says that's what you're supposed to do, right? Like as you said, when I was 22, I was thinking I would be like one woman man. I was going to settle down with that person and I was going to do this and that. But then I'm like, right now, I was thinking on Wednesday, like, okay, when I was 16, that it was when I finished high school, where was I? And did I ever think I was going to be right now where I am? Did I think things were going to be like how they are right now?
Yes.
No, things are so different of how I think they were going to be.
How you thought, yeah.
Yeah. So I think when I'm 35, I just want to know more about myself and be more aware of who I am. And I think just trying to, I will not say try. I just want to be happy. And I know it's going to sound like corny maybe.
Cliche, yeah. No, it's good.
But when I'm 35, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy with who I am, with the people I have around me. I think it's the age that I'm meeting people and I'm like, okay, you are good. I want to keep you in my life. And then there are other people that I'm like, like, no, please go. Like, I don't want you around me.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I'm in that stage of life right now. But at 35, I want to have that maybe more figured out. You know, I think it has happened, like you said, that I keep friends that maybe I should have not kept. You know, people that I kept for so many years in my life, knowing, you know what? Like, sometimes I think, like, what was I doing with that person, you know? Like...
Yeah, we've been there. We've been there.
Like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
You know, so I think I just want to be more aware of that.
Yeah.
And I think that takes, like, time to everyone. Like, even sometimes you're married with someone for, like, 20 years and you're like, what was I doing for 20 years with that person? You know? So I don't want to get to that. I just want to be aware of the people I want to have in my life, of what I want to do, and also who I want to be. You know, I'm still figuring that out, who I want to be.
I'm still figuring that out.
I don't know who I want to be so far. Like, learning things at work.
It's a journey. Like you said, it's a journey.
Like, when I graduated, I said, I want to do this. You know, when I'm 22, I want to be graduated from this. And I'm not even working in what I studied for.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but, you know, I love what I'm doing right now. And I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
So I think I want to figure more that out. Like, okay, this is what I'm good at. And I want to work more towards that, become even better at that.
Yeah.
So I can build a good career based on that.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. You will get there. You will.
Yes.
I think another piece of advice I was going to give was, you know, never giving up.
Yes.
Never giving up on yourself. Understanding that, like, what you make it through will make you stronger. You know what I mean? So just keep going, because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. Like, I know today was a rough day, but tomorrow, if you just make it till tomorrow, things could switch at the snap of a finger. And that's what I've learned over the years. It's like, yeah, I had a bad year last year, but this year is an amazing year. And if I didn't just keep going and sticking it through, I wouldn't have been getting to see how this year is playing out. And I'm just using that as an example, right? We all have good times and bad times.
Yes, for sure.
But as long as we don't give up on ourselves, we'll get to see those later stages of life. You know, you're figuring out who you are, who you want to be. And that's what this platform represents. It's like the journey continues. It doesn't stop. Like, just because I'm 35 doesn't mean I know who I am. I know pieces of who I am, but I'm going to get to know myself even more and more as the days and weeks and years progress, because we never stop learning that about ourselves. I think sometimes, even in the stage that we're at right now, in this day in life, like, young people think they know everything about themselves. You don't know shit. You don't know shit.
Yes.
And that's okay to not know. We have to be okay with not knowing. If I'm 35 and I still don't know, what do you think you know? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think you and I have had many healthy debates. Yes. Do you want to bring that part up? What's one debate we had about?
So I'm really stubborn as well, as all Taurus is, okay? And sometimes, I think I know everything about a topic. I'm like, I know this from head to toe.
Yeah.
And then I think you're just like, what are you talking about? Like...
Like, what? You're teaching me about this? Yeah,
yes.
You? Yeah. So.
But that doesn't mean I cannot teach him something.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
Like, I also think that's important. Don't think that somebody else cannot teach you something.
Exactly.
Okay, because everyone, like, I think even from kids you learn sometimes things,
course.
You know? Like,
just watch them.
Yes.
Just watch them. Yeah.
So don't think because you're older, you're in a different stage of life,
I agree.
You cannot learn from somebody else.
I agree.
You don't know anything. Like, you will not know everything 100%.
No one.
Not even like when you are like 80, 90 years old.
Fact though. Yeah, you gotta be, and you have to be open to learning.
Be humble to learn.
Yes.
Just be humble.
Yes, you've become humble.
I became humble, okay?
Yeah.
I know that.
No, you've taught me a lot. What's one thing we've taught each other, you would say? Taurus vibes. From a fellow Taurus to another one. What's something you've learned from me, and what's something I've learned from you, and then we could wrap up.
Something I learned from you.
being at the different stages of life that we're both at. Since we've met,
I think that if, like you said it, like even if things are rocky, that they will change and they will be better. I think a lot of conversations we had, you have explained your journey, and I have learned from your journey. You know, I have been like, okay, if I go through something that is not maybe what I was thinking, like, it's okay, like I will figure it out. You know, you have touched, like, I think that's something we have talked about a lot, that you're like, okay, I went through this, but then I realized that I learned a lot from it. And also, if you're going through something bad, you will learn something from it. Like, that will make you stronger. That will make you a stronger individual itself. Okay, so I think that's something I learned from you, to learn from things, you know. Don't take them as everything is just bad and that's it. Like, see something positive out of it.
Yes. One thing I've learned from you, I'd say, is how to have, I'm going to use this term, patience. You've taught me how to, I think, like with our conversations and our connection and friendship and stuff like that, patience has always come up and been a topic of discussion, whether it's from you or from me. You know, I think we've had to really flex patience with one another, because being the Tauruses that we are, sometimes we jump the gun. Sometimes we're compulsive.
Yes.
With our decision making and stuff like that, and we assume things, we jump the gun, we don't speak first and then ask questions later. Or sorry, you said this thing, we said I shoot first. I tend to shoot first and ask questions later in some moments with what we've been through and stuff. So, and just life in general. So I think what I've learned is a big deal of patience. And I thought I knew patience before, you know, even before I got my dog. Like my dog taught me a different level of patience. There are layers to patience, and God, or the universe, our creator, is not just gonna, you'd be like, God, please give me patience, and we think God will just give us patience. Like it's a candy or something. Like, here, no, God gives us the opportunity to be patient,
To learn how to be patient. The situations that will teach us, okay, you have to be patient, you have to wait.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's something I've taken away since I've met you, and I think I've improved a little bit on that layer of patience, because, you know, dealing with another Taurus in any capacity can be, I think you and I have many similarities. We're very different, but we're similar in a sense. So sometimes there's a lot of friction and battling and stuff like that, but when we finally come together, I think it's like even better than it was before, because we flex that patience with one another. We listen,
sure.
Communication and stuff. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah?
Yes.
You're going to kill me after this one?
No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you've been listening to the Who and How Club. We're just talking shop today. We're talking about our experiences, what it means to be a Taurus. What?
1:30.
Was I right, or you?
I was right.
Well, we want to kind of close off with a special message to the boys and girls club members, ladies and gentlemen listening too. So Dana's going to let us know what our closeout message of the day is, and then we'll close out and we'll speak in a week. We love you all. Dana, take it away for our message that we want to leave with the people today.
Okay. I'll say to follow and trust the process you are in life right now. Learn from it, embrace it, try to take the best from it, learn from it, and use it in your life. Listen to people and also use that in your life. Use the good things, okay? Try to take everything you can, but know also how, where, and with who to use that, okay? And I would say that no matter the age, we are all at different stages, but we can also learn from each other. Would you add something else?
Learn. I think you said something earlier about being humble enough to learn new things. take the time to learn from one another. And like you said, yeah, we no matter, everyone has a birthday.
Yes.
Everyone has a birthday. So don't let that number, that age define you in any way, shape, or form. Don't feel pressure. Don't feel the societal pressures. Focus on the stage of life that you're at, not the age of life. And maybe you'll be able to maneuver a bit better and in a more peaceful way and a healthy way for yourself, for what you want for yourself. Focus on the stage of life that you're at, not the age. And like Dana said, follow and trust the process. I know it's going to be rough. It's a bumpy road. But once you make it out of that road, it's smooth sailing. And you'll come across another bumpy road. But after that, it'll be even more smoother. Like, it gets smoother and smoother as you go. Don't give up. And yeah.
Okay. Thank you for having me here. I hope everyone learned something today, that you got our message, that something will stick in your head. You will sit down with yourself and see if our words will work.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the slogan?
You are the Who and How Club. I am the Who and How Club. You are the Who and How Club. And we are the Who's and How's of this world. Without you, without me, there is no we.
So while we're here?
Well, we're here. I don't know.
No, that's where you freestyle.
Okay.
While we're here, you could say whatever you want.
While we're here, let's pick each other's brain. That's one of your favorite phrases.
Yes, let's pick each other's brains. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls club members, we love you. We appreciate you. Shout out to all of our Taurians out there, April and May's alike. It's been a great week. This is a great way to end. This is like a little birthday present to each other.
Yes.
What do you think?
Perfect birthday present.
Yeah, this was good. Good conversation. And we trust that all of you have learned something from today's convo. I'll touch base with you in a week, and we'll check in. Love you all. One. Say bye.
Bye.
One.